Hello guys, Talking Shed with Michal is back, and I actually have a podcast guest, the first guest in 3 years, Jonah Gunter. Yes,
That's correct.
Correct, Jonah. Great to have you here. Please, first of all, great to have you, brother. Good morning. How are you today?
I'm great, Mike. Glad to be here with you talking about some good stuff. It's going to be a good time.
Yes, sir. For sure, it will be good time. First question: did you do your hike today in the morning?
No hike this morning. I went down to the gym though, which was I didn't know if I'd be able to make it down after that fast, doing the 48 hours.
I see. So okay. So we already on fasting. Tell me how it. Tell me first of all, how did you get on to fasting? Just the idea of fasting alone.
Well, a lot of people I've followed on social media. The first person I've ever heard talk about the one meal a day was Mike Rashid. Do you know who that is?
I have not heard about the guy.
He
Please
was
tell
talking
me.
about it before, and I was like, it didn't really click with me. I kind of thought it was crazy. And then I saw this other guy, the Panda Man.
Okay.
He started talking about it, and it made a little more sense to me. And I was like, I might have to try that out. And so I started doing. That was after I did the beef and eggs for the 33 days.
So you got on to fasting after beef and
The beef and
egg?
That I saw that as more of a carnivore diet, not really a fast. So then when I got off of that, I did the 33 days. Then I started to do. I wanted to do something else. I like doing the challenges and stuff. So I was like, the next 30 days, I'll do one meal a day and try that out. And it was crazy. I had so much energy.
So hold on. Let's back up a little bit. First of all, Jonah, he's like you are technically speaking like a personal trainer, very fit man, and I also know that you also went through like a life. Basically, you transformed your life, right? At some point, right?
Yeah.
So please, sorry that we backtrack, but I think it's better to kind of backtrack to that. So long story short, you are very much health conscious, very much fitness oriented, and please tell me your story. How did you get onto that sort of road?
Well, my whole life I've been focused on fitness. And my parents helped with that. They always taught us to work out, and they put us on the swim team as kids, and they motivated us to do workouts and stuff like that. So I've had the fitness aspect my whole life. The nutrition aspect is really where stuff started to change, and that was more recent. That's more of, it's just like I told you earlier, it's just been an experiment, just figuring out what works for me. I figured out what didn't work around COVID time.
So what didn't work? Please tell me, because I actually have a lot of, and thank you that you mentioned that, because I actually have a lot of little details to talk about COVID related to diet.
Okay.
Please tell me what didn't work for you over COVID, please.
Well, around COVID, that was when the big switch happened in my life. I was working out, but I was trying to bulk and put on weight, and I wasn't able to work out as much as I wanted to because the gyms were closed, and I was eating unhealthy. I was fucking slamming the whole thing at Little Debbie's.
So tell me, what kind of diet you would have, like an average American diet?
Then my diet, the only thing I would say about my diet was that I ate high protein. I was always focused on getting high protein. That was all I knew at the time, was that I needed high protein to gain the muscle and strength and stuff.
How about sugars, carbs?
I ate a lot of sugars and carbs because I didn't know about that then. I didn't know how bad it was. And that I went up to 240 pounds. Normally I was at about 170, 180, which is what close to what I'm at now. But I went up to 240.
That's crazy. I cannot even imagine you 240 pounds.
I'll have to show you some pictures. It's great. People don't recognize me. Like after I lost that weight, I came into the gym. And people who would talk to me before, they walked straight past me. They didn't even recognize me.
I can relate to that. I do have a similar story, so I can relate. And I believe you.
How much did you go up to?
So I used to be actually overweight as a kid my whole life, right? So basically, I was overweight till 18, 19 years old. So the heaviest I was 310 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but you know, that's the thing. You know what's crazy? Because every once in a while I kind of go back within my memories, who I was, right? So long story short, that person that used to be 310 pounds, that person does not exist. You know, that like that person does not exist. I basically, of course, there are certain things that I used to be that still kind of carry over. But if we go like black and white type of description, that person does not exist. I'm a different person, you know. So, and what happened to me, it was. So my journey is ongoing, and I'm basically having new epiphanies every other month or half a year. So, but that's the thing though, like I keep on changing, evolving, and even like there's something that we mentioned before we started talking, and you mentioned this also already. My life is also like likewise as you, my life is very much an experiment, right? And basically I learn as I go, and even if so there's many times in my life that I already thought I have the answers, right? And basically every time I'm really confident I have the answers, the life tells me otherwise, right? So to answer your question, I used to be 310 pounds.
What did you do to lose the weight then? Because what do you weigh now? You're probably what, 190?
200. No, it's so completely honest. Right now I'm 210 pounds because I've been smoking cannabis and overeating, right? But if we cut out cannabis and overeating, I am around 205.
Okay.
Basically, 200.
And that's the weight that you like to be at, 205?
My ideal weight that I aspire is between 200 to 195. But I'm completely content with 205. 210, I feel fat as fuck.
We'll have to get you peeled up then, but get on the panda diet.
So please, so how did you get into like basically transforming your lifestyle? So you used to lift more to gain muscle, right? And how did that evolve?
When I grew up, I worked out down at the Y from a young age. I was probably 15 or 16 working out down there. And most of the people that worked out in this area at that time, they all just did powerlifting. So I thought that was the road. You had to be a powerlifter. So that's just what I did. I ate a ton of food and tried to lift really heavy weights. And after a certain point, my joints and stuff started to hurt. And
from lifting, from
lifting,
inflammation,
both. It was a combination of the foods I was eating and the training that I was doing. It's not how I was meant to train. I'm strong and I can lift powerlifting movements, but that's not supposed to be what I do every single day. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
And I enjoy doing different stuff more too. So it's just been. It started at that, and I've just been gradually figuring out what's my best type of workout, and then the nutrition really started to come into place. Honestly, after I messed up my knee, I did jiu-jitsu up in Salamanca, messed up my knee, and that changed how I had to train. I couldn't train powerlifting anymore. I had to cut down in body weight and start doing more calisthenic stuff, and I was like, well, I can't keep doing this at that weight, so.
I hear you. So tell me, that's actually something that interests me quite a bit, because my story, I myself, I might, there was a chance I might end up being like a power lifter or like a weightlifting guy, but you know what happened to me when I started getting into it, because my story is sort of similar, like you said, you know, like let's say my friends or people that I know, they were all about lifting, right? So I myself, I was like, yeah, let's get into lifting. But you know what happened to me? As I got into lifting, literally the same day as I got into lifting, I hurt my elbow, right? And to me, I feel that to me, it's a blessing, because I myself, I choose the route of martial arts, and I will explain why do I choose this over weightlifting. But I believe for me that was like a plus, because when I hurt my elbow, not only I hurt it, you know, basically I probably either overdid the reps or overdid the weight. I'm not sure exactly, maybe it was both. But the biggest point to it all, I hurt my elbow and it hurt for like 3 years. So, and I'm not joking, right?
No, those elbow pains, they last for a long time.
So yeah, so basically that kind of like turned me off from weightlifting. And you know, maybe back in that time it would be beneficial, because I'm not trying to say weightlifting is not beneficial. Weightlifting is very beneficial. It's just when I was young, I would be that guy, you know, personal best 2 times a day, you know. You know, it's like, oh, you know, I just fucking got my personal best. I'm gonna wait 45 minutes and we're gonna go 20 pounds heavier, you know, or 50 pounds heavier. Let's do it, you know. So I believe probably probably it was like a good thing for me that I hurt myself and I kind of like swayed away from it.
So that was before you got introduced to martial arts then?
Yes. So I'm not sure what age I was, but I was really young, like around 13 maybe, something like that, you know. So it turned me off. But let me just say one more thing about weights, because I myself, my mind works in a way that is very difficult for me to motivate myself to just lift weights. And obviously, I can do it. Yes, I can. But I do not want to do it, you know?
No, I get that. I mean, sometimes it's hard for me to get motivated, especially because I've been doing it for so long. It's hard for me to get motivation to lift. Like, I mean, when I started the beef and eggs, I pretty much stopped lifting for 3 weeks, and I just did body weight workouts just for a change-up of things, you know what I mean? But I like lifting, and I think I'll keep with it my whole life, but I'll definitely keep throwing other things in there, because it can be boring sometimes to go, especially unless you're doing it with people. When the people are really what makes lifting a nice thing. Is when you're lifting with a good group of people and you're all getting a good workout in together.
Community.
Yep, that's what it is. It's community.
Same thing with martial arts. It's basically, you know what's interesting, and so there's many things that influence me in my life, but one of the biggest things that like keep me motivated is always things that got me through hard times and just, let's say, everyday bullshit was like always community based, you know. And that's another interesting aspect, because we are like social creatures, right? But I myself, I didn't, so now I know this in like a crystal clear type of, I view it as a crystal clear, meaning that you need good people around you, right? And the same thing, family values, or it's like essential, right? But that's the thing, right? When I was younger, I didn't really understand this completely, right? And I'm literally learning this as we speak, you know, how much of an importance is to have good people around you, and you know, and also to be a good person, right?
Well, and I feel like being a good person kind of brings a good community around you in a way, you know what I mean? If you're a good person, you're not going to surround yourself with people who aren't, and you're going to attract good people into your life doing that.
Yes, sir. Have you heard that there is like this principle, or there is a saying, like the 5 people that are closest to you? I just don't remember how it was the end of it.
Your life will mirror the life of the 5 people that are... something like that. Who said that? I'm trying to think.
I don't know.
I heard that somewhere too. It's true. It's literally true. If the 5 people that are closest to you in your life, if you step back and analyze your life, you're probably going to have some very similar things in there.
So how would you describe your transition from bulking to being more of cut type of thing?
My transition in what way? Like in how I did it? Or
so yeah, because at some point your objective was more to be bigger, right? And now this is not necessarily your objective, right? What is your objective? So basically, let me rephrase. So before you would go to the gym to bulk up, now you go to the gym to
Be healthy.
Be healthy.
Be healthy and help other people. That's really... But the biggest... I mean, my physique changed. I was fighting to get a physique that wasn't my natural physique, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not naturally a big, bulky person. But I was trying to do every single fucking thing I could do to get to that, because I thought that was the road.
Yeah.
And then I stepped back, dropped my ego, and I was like, you know what? I actually feel a lot better at a smaller weight. I'm not fighting to get up to that weight anymore. I feel great at this weight. So that it was kind of that. And now I go to the gym. It's for a different purpose. I was doing it for selfish reasons back then. And it was clear, and I wasn't getting the result I was getting when I was trying to do it the selfish road. But then I changed, and I try to do things more now that other people could do, and so that I could teach it to them or help them out in some way.
Yes, sir. You know, I'm actually very happy that you said that, because I myself, so guys, do not get me wrong, I'm not against lifting weight whatsoever, but
Mike, they're gonna be thinking you're
fuck you, stop hating. I'm the only one to hate here, okay? You guys cannot hate. I'm the only one that's gonna hate, okay? So no, but to tell the truth, Jonah, I myself, I've been thinking about this, because you know how I approach my fitness. So I also look at my fitness health based quite a bit, right? Because one of the biggest reasons why I made a change in my life, like the biggest, like the break point, was the health, right? But now I also look at efficiency and efficiency, meaning what works, what doesn't, what gives me, like, let's say. So I truly believe, right? So this is my belief, and I'm actually interested at your take on it, right? So I believe, like, huge muscle building is straight up unnatural. Like, it's just like some sort of weird, it's basically, so also what I'm saying is, I don't want to sound like a hater, but basically it's unsustainable. Unsustainable. It's basically,
you can look at the progress. You can look at people, any single person that's not sustainable. No one stays at that size for the rest of their life. At a certain point, they come down in weight. You know what I mean?
So that's what gets me with that, because I have nothing against weightlifting, but I kind of have like a meaning like that muscle building, but you know, the higher level of muscle building, because obviously if you want to build some muscle, look better, man, that's amazing, great for you, high five. But I'm talking about people that have amazing physique and they're like, no, I'm too small, you know.
Well, it's body dysmorphia. You know what I mean? Everyone's got some sort of body dysmorphia, and they feel like there's something wrong, and you can either fix the body dysmorphia or you can keep trying to fix your body. You know what I mean? But if you don't fix the body dysmorphia first, you're going to keep trying to fix that, and it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Because you could get I've seen the biggest fucking guys I've ever seen in my life, and they think that they're small. I was the same way. I was huge. I was like 210, 15 pounds, strong as fuck, lifting all kinds of weights, but I thought I looked like shit. So I felt terrible about myself.
Yeah.
So you have to fix the root cause before you go and try to do that. But that's what it is. It's just a body dysmorphia. Some people do it. Some people think that they're fat. Some people think that they're skinny.
Yeah, you know what's funny? Because like I told you, I used to be fat. I'm technically speaking, I'm still fat. but you know what's at least in my case, what's amazing, right? So I used to be fat, so I didn't have like high self-esteem. At that time, I didn't have high self-esteem at all, right? But the good thing is, after losing weight, so actually when I lost weight, some people would mention like, oh, like even women would tell me, you are handsome, right? I swear to you, I swear to you, I swear to you, and I'm gonna say one more time, I swear to you, I was thinking they're fucking with me, right? Because I was so used to, so I was so used to just not being attractive, right? When somebody told me, oh, you are attractive, you are handsome, I was like, this bitch is fucking with me. I'm like, what? But I swear to you, and it took me couple years. So I have my thing is I kind of have like opposite issue, right? Meaning that I don't really have this sort of notion that I need to look better, because I used to have notion that I look like shit, and because I lost the weight, I'm just like amazed. You know, it's like basically if I compare myself where I was and where I am, even like looking, even if I focus on flaws or whatever, I'm still looking 100 times better than I looked before. So it's like for me it's kind of interesting, because I don't have that sort of issue I need to look better. But let me tell you though, I do always aspire to look as good as possible. But this is also going back combined with just health and feeling good about yourself, because that's another thing is you need to feel good about yourself for your general health, period, you know. So however you can achieve that within your mind, because so let me just say one more thing that's also kind of intriguing to me, because when I was overweight, and this is also true, I did not feel completely miserable, right? In many ways I felt somewhat happy being fat, right? There were parts of it that did suck, but I didn't have like let's say crazy insecurity that let's say I'll be scared to take off my shirt, right? I'll be uncomfortable to take my shirt, but not scared. You know, it's like I'm fat, whatever, right? But going with that train of thought though, I didn't understand before I lost the weight how big of a difference it makes to be in that. So, and listen, this is my opinion, take it however you want it, but I really believe, so I kind of used to think if you overweight you are straight up unhealthy. I kind of disagree with that opinion, but if you overweight, for sure your health is somewhat compromised, right? And the reason why I'm saying this, because when I actually lost the weight, I actually realized for the first time, maybe not for the first time, because probably as a kid I felt it, but as an adult, for the first time in my life, I actually felt like I have abundance of energy, right? And when I was overweight, so technically I was happy. Technically everything was fine, right? But when I saw the comparison between fit and not fit, literally day and night difference. But that's the thing, you kind of have to live it to understand it.
You do know? You can't understand that till you've been through it. Yeah, no, I know that feeling 100%. I have so much more energy now. I don't even drink caffeine anymore.
That's crazy. So that's another thing. You don't really drink coffee. You don't really
water.
So you basically drink water. And so tell me basically like your diet right now. Tell me.
Right now, I wouldn't necessarily call it a diet even. I'm just trying to eat. I'm still trying to eat high protein. I'm trying to eat whole food, like single ingredient whole foods that have good nutritional value to them. So when I go home from here, I'm going to have some Greek yogurt, some raspberries, some honey, some apples. And then I'm going to have 12 eggs. Nice. And then I'm going to have a pound of ground beef and some tacos.
Okay.
And then I'm going to have some potatoes.
So 12 eggs is like a whole fucking package.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. So please tell me, because we kind of talked about this, but we haven't talked about this on the podcast. So I will ask you questions that I asked you before. So please tell me, how did you even get on that sort of train of thought? Mention fasting, mention carnivore. Basically, please, because also the reason why I'm asking and the reason why I'm just want to talk about this specifically is because most people do not really consider this type of diet, right, as something that even makes sense. Yeah. Please tell me how this makes sense.
Well, honestly, I just got pissed off the one day. I'm so tired, like my whole life, my whole fitness career, everyone's been telling me what I need to fucking eat and what I need to do. And and I came to the conclusion, realization, most of them are like the stuff that they're telling me to eat. They're making a profit for telling me to eat that shit.
Yeah. Industry.
And I'm like, fuck you. I'm gonna go eat beef and eggs. I don't want to eat what you're telling me to eat. So that's how it started. It just started me getting pissed off and wanting to cut everything out of my diet. I cut out all supplements, just beef and eggs.
That's sweet.
And then it's kind of, I've just been kind of, we talked about this the one day about the downloads that you get.
Yeah.
And I just started, I just kept seeing these people talking about the one meal a day, and I was like, fuck, I gotta try that. And so I tried it out, and it helped too. When I did the beef and eggs, I cut down to 2 meals a day when I did that. So I ate at 12 and I ate at 6.
Okay, I see.
Just the difference in 3 meals to 2 meals, I had a crazy jump in energy. I was able to cut out the caffeine doing that.
Okay, so you actually cut out coffee recently?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, my whole life I've been slamming caffeine. Like not coffee though. Energy drinks is what I would drink. A lot of them.
What kind?
Celsius mostly.
Celsius,
and I would drink the Bang energy drinks a lot too. But then when I came home from my deployment, I started just drinking pretty much Celsiuses.
Okay.
But even those, they would wreck my stomach every time I drink it, and I would ignore it, and I just keep drinking them because I needed the caffeine.
Oh yeah. You know, let me tell you, because I probably said this on the podcast, but I'm gonna repeat it. I heard on the, so I will not give you specifically who said this, but I heard it on the internets. You know where this is at. So I heard somebody make like a analogy how coffee, or let's say energy drinks work, and basically the guy compared this to, let's say your body is like a car, and you know it's an engine, this and that, right? So basically, usually when you feel really, so maybe not always, but for most part, when you feel really low, when you feel low energy, low drive,